So Record of Ragnarok kind of has this formula down by now, which is kind of like introduce us to the fighters, make us care about these fighters in a little bit of time, and then they fight, and then we get the result, rinse and repeat. I think that they fully realize that this is their bag. Like I think they know now. So consider this video just like an evaluation of how they did in this season. So let's get to it. So first fight, for Kun Shi Hang versus Hades. The first fight, I ain't gonna lie, this might be the best one. It was done really well in my opinion. I actually think that this is the best fight in the whole season because they did every step of their bag and their routine damn near flawlessly. First thing first, when Hades step up, I'm pretty sure like 99% of niggas was like, yeah, we're thinking the same shit. I thought that this nigga was negative 20,000 on the money line, my nigga. I mean, gang, folks is the king of hell. Of hell, folks. So you know folks gotta be a dog. And his brother Poseidon just died. So he going into this fight with a vengeance on top of being the king of hell, folks. But Kun Shi Hang was like cool as hell when they first introduced him. Folks like he got a little like Kenshi type vibe to him. He probably blind as shit from what I've seen. You know, he wanted to blindfold. Blind as shit, but he raw as hell. And I ain't gonna lie, they started low-key like selling the nigga a little bit when I seen his interest. Once I seen like all the previous Chinese emperors holding up like a red carpet for the nigga, and he entered from where Zeus and Ares and them were sitting, I was like, hold on, fuck. I ain't convinced yet, but we might actually have something here. And I know these fights actually be close as hell. I know that like the Valkyrie helped even the odds for the humanity side and shit like that, but I don't know, man. Some of these guys step up and they just like nasty based on the knowledge that I have about them. And the funny thing is like I actually did a project in high school on Hades. So I'm already kind of very familiar with him, and me being very familiar with him made me think like, hey, yeah, this nigga Kun Shi Hang was about to be shrimp fried rice after this shit was over with, no racial. But like I said, the interest was clean. When him and the Valkyrie fused, the fit was clean too. Nigga was just like a royal NFL street character. Brody had on the goddamn Aaron up, where's that fool? Aaron up, kidnap that fool. Ass fit, boy. Even with all this, I still thought folks was gonna lose. I ain't gonna lie. Quan Shi Hang's backstory was probably one of the best ones in the season as well. Folks is a dog. He was the only king to ever fight that one war god that everybody was scared of. And the war god, speaking of that war god looked like an evil creatine taking Katamari gang. And they said it was throwing the bitch for like 6 days. I'm like, damn, that I hate you nigga, let's die ass fight. That Asura versus Akuma ass fight, Goku versus Kid Buu ass fight, folks. I think finding out that he already fought a demon and won gave me a little bit more confidence in bro. But what really sold me finally is how this nigga fought. So them little key attacks folks was doing, smooth as hell, for I'm not gonna lie, smooth as shit. He fight clean as hell. He fight like that Paul George montage music should be playing in the background whenever he in battle type shit. And the fight was decent as hell, like so far up until this point. I think that this fight really started to super pick up when Hades started swinging that spear like a damn billy club. This nigga Hades swole as shit, bro. Look at this nigga right arm when he was doing this shit. He got that E-Rome iridescent jerkmate arm. Glenn Quagmire after discovering Freaky Flick's arm, bro. I think Kun Shi Hang's ability with his eyes and a little breath attack he does, I think those are fire. Especially with the eyes, because we got the backstory along with it. I think it was damn near right like when they introduced it, when he took his blindfold off. Speaking of his backstory, who the fuck is that? Oh my. In the words of my dog Cam, ni hao. I know I ain't really in a position to say this, and I know my friends be like, now Vaughn, you the last nigga to be trying to lecture people about this. But I genuinely don't believe that kids shouldn't bear the sins of their mothers and fathers and shit. And I also don't believe that any problems that you have with someone, I feel like they kids should be off limits, because they ain't got shit to do with it type shit. So me feeling this way and watching everybody that came into contact with this nigga treat him like shit and look at him crazy, it hit a little bit. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie like I don't understand what the people are coming from when they treat him like shit. Like he is from the group that's responsible for burying all these niggas' loved ones alive. So of course, like, the rage gotta go somewhere. It's just tough, folks. Sun Yan helping them was actually really cool to see. But once I seen they was too happy living life together and shit, I already knew this was gonna end horribly, and it did. Not only did the locals try to like fry this nigga shit, but Sun Yan dies right in front of him, defending him. But before she died, she even reveals that she wanted to smoke herself, essentially. Like she said that her plan was initially to kill him too, but she just couldn't after like experiencing him as a person. I'm like, damn, that's rough. They're telling us this good ass story and shit too, while giving us all this information, like why he wearing the blindfold, where he got it from, why he says how all the time. Like, this show is crazy, bro. Like, this is a really good backstory. I'm not gonna lie. Side note too, I kind of like how they redistributed the way they introduce backstories now too. In season 1, in like the Thor and like Lubu fight, I thought it was like a little bit of a snooze fest, mainly because they front loaded the whole beginning of the fight with backstory. So by the time you actually got to the fight almost felt like a reward for sitting through a boring ass like history lesson type shit. But now they make it more interesting. They break it up in a very strategic way. So like the first chunk of the backstory in this fight was like a basic overview. It's like the fight goes on and the personal motive starts to come up, and it's usually prompted by like a monologue or a question from the opponent. Like, for example, I think Hades asked him what's his definition of a king or some shit like that. It was something along those lines. Then it went into his upbringing and how he got those morals and personal value. Like, this shit is genius. Like, this shit is honestly genius for real. I love how they do this. And it's way better than the format they had before. Hades' backstory was pretty fire too. Like, seeing him with a younger Zeus and all his brothers like gearing up for the war, slipping off on his own and soloing all the Titans in hell, like on some cool shit, on some slight shit, like type shit. Seeing a glimpse of him and Poseidon's relationship and seeing like why he was so adamant about taking this fight and like how much he actually loved his brother and shit. That shit was fire. The ending sequence of this fight was really good as well. I'm not gonna lie. When Hades chopped folks' arm off, I thought this shit was finished, finito, nigga. But then they did something else to switch it up too. So now the Valkyries can like change form too, making things a little bit more fresh, attacking wise and fight wise, but also giving the humans an even better chance to win because the guys don't really have a read on that. When he got the sword, I thought it was gonna be like a final dish, like slugfest type thing, and I thought that Hades was gonna simply outlast him because his body was gonna give up from all the damage that he received from seeing Hades get hurt type shit. But using the air trick actually on the key point of the weapon was cool as hell. And seeing him use that like Force of the Phoenix shit with his sword and using the force of Hades' attack and storing it into the sword and using that force to break Hades' weapon, it's really creative. I actually like how they did that. Mind you, dude, this nigga was the ultimate underdog story. Like, in my mind, the Emperor was plus 10,000 on the money line. Because if there was one nigga that I thought that was guaranteed to win, it would be the King of Hell. I know I keep saying this, but you feel me? Like, this is a pleasant surprise. And I think that Record of Ragnarok actually like does a good job at reassuring me and making me actually believe that Hades is gonna win. And I actually enjoyed the pleasant surprise of him actually losing. I think the fight was really good overall. Now we have Tesla versus Beelzebub. Now in this fight, I just had a strong feeling that Beelzebub was gonna win only for the sake of the score. You feel me? Like, if the humans go up 2, then it can only end at a tie at this point. And I thought this fight was gonna be one of the weaker ones for the whole show, but I actually ended up enjoying this as well. I actually really enjoyed Beelzebub's backstory and shit, him being a loner and people avoiding him because he's like this cursed by Satan nigga, and finally gaining friends and shit and seeing him be happy and shit. But like all stories in this show, tragedies are all in them. That full circle moment where he found out that he was the Satan that he was searching for all along, and having to watch him realize that it was him that killed his friends, and watching him like cry and regret killing Lilith right after, that shit was rough, folks. So folks been like wanting to die all this time since doing all this shit, but he has a new motivation to live and not lose as well. That nigga was trying to slide for Hades too. So in theory, it looked like Tesla was supposed to get fried in this fight, gang. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Cause when you look at this nigga based off the eye test, he's a literal devil. And then on the other side is Eisen wanna be in a mech suit, you type shit, you feel me? So you can hear that, like, initially I thought that Tesla was gonna be like disappointing in this fight. But what's actually crazy, I actually love the way Tesla fought way more than I like the way Beelzebub fought, which is wild. I don't know what it is. I feel like Beelzebub's like fighting style was gonna be more of like an evil mad scientist using like chimeras and shit. And you know, like, Lord, I get it, bro. Like, Lord of the Flies make vibrations, the buzzing noise sound like a fly. I get it. But I feel like the way he kind of fought was lame and generic. Am I tweaking? Like, is it just me? Now, I will say the right hand, the left hand thing, that was pretty cool. Like, I actually like the concept of that. But I feel like the way he fought could have been way swaggier and like quite a bit more sinister. Like, this is the devil we're talking about. Like, damn near the devil we're talking about. Now, Tesla, on the other hand, super cool. He fights with the fruits of like the peak of humanity's scientific knowledge. His suit is cool because it basically like his own invention coming to life type shit. And bro was moving freaky as hell in that zone he made. Folks was moving like Cyber Psycho David with full 5 stars with max tack on his ass and shit. That nigga Tesla even hit a whole ass Psycho Crusher for, I was like, hold on, for this nigga clean. The way he fought was clean as hell. Then, as if the flash steps and the Psycho Crushers weren't clean, the nigga got the nerve to pull out some instant transmission to start teleporting. I was like, yeah, this nigga Tesla clean. But whole time I was like, nah, this ain't no sign. This is more like magic, twin. But I know his ass would have been like, Maho? no, nine. I know that's exactly the type of shit he'll respond to. I think he actually did say that shit when they said it was magic. Shit was cool though. His backstory was pretty cool. Going from this little kid watching his brother being an inventor and spectating him in his workshop and helping and shit occasionally, to unfortunately, you know, watching his brother die, you know, doing what he loved and becoming this ambitious inventor himself, even finishing a project that led to his brother's demise. And I also fuck with like all the scientists he inspired in the crowd and shit, just nerding it up and shit, and like looking disappointed whenever he come up with a mid-ass name for a cool-ass invention or technique. Like, his parts of the fight had so much character in it. Beelzebub's left and right like combined shit, it was alright. Like, once again, I feel like that attack could have been way crazier. Like, just being one big ball of energy, I thought that was kind of lame. But like, I know it's a small studio, so you know, you just gotta do what you do. It's probably gonna take a lot of resources for what I envision for the nigga. But like, I feel like it could have been something like, could have turned the whole arena to like a hellscape and then he attacks with like actual flies, or some mode that turns him into the image of Satan that he created, and like the crowd getting terrified and shit. Like, I feel like this could have been really cool. And it wasn't horrible. It just seemed a little bit generic. That's it. You even had like the guys be like, Beelzebub, no, you can't do that, it's banned. But it's just like an energy wave, like, boom, nigga. Like, what kind of bullshit? The finale of this fight is pretty good though, I'm not gonna hold you. You can see that like Tesla last core was gonna give out eventually, but that last effort was raw, I'm not gonna lie. Him teleporting his arm and using that bitch to come up behind him and using that to pinch him was crazy and creative as shit. That was not on my bigger card at all. But it also made sense how it wasn't enough. It was just a punch at the end of the day. And you just kind of knew that that fight had to end this way because the current score. But shout out Tesla for that was a cool ass character and that was one hell of an effort, I'm not gonna lie. Now for the final fight, we have Apollo versus Leonidas. I think this fight was pretty good as well. I feel like this is another fight where I had a different, I'm not gonna call him lazy, I feel like I had a different way of envisioning this fight. So I know this isn't a bigger studio, like I said. I know resources aren't unlimited, this isn't Ufotable. But I feel like this shit could have got like nasty. Like Apollo being the god of sun could have been on some like Gilgamesh and Fate Stay Night shit. And then Leonidas with his 300 Spartans could have been like some Alexander with his reality marble type shit. Like, they powers could have been a little similar to the reality marbles, but that bar is like high as shit, and that's Ufotable doing that shit, so it's not really a fair comparison. But I will say I did enjoy what we got. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be ungrateful. This is really good. I actually love Leonidas' character. I don't know if I said this in the previous video, but I feel like Record of Ragnarok reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed in the way that these are two really like entertaining ways to present historical figures and events. Although it isn't like fully historically accurate. I mean, obviously, you know, the overarching narrative of this shit is humans throwing them bitches with gods. So this isn't like historically accurate. But you actually learn about these figures that you probably already kind of familiar with and where they come from. And like I said, it's not historically accurate, but the niggas actually write in abilities and weapons that make sense for these historical figures. Like Leonidas with his shield or Apollo with his bow. Like, this shit is really cool. As entertaining as this show is, it's damn near just as educational. Like, there's a lot of shit about guys that I didn't know before watching this show that actually are a part of their history type shit. Leonidas' backstory was cool as hell too. Like, him being the ultimate rebel against the gods and him basically calling Apollo a bitch ass nigga to his face and him like declaring war on Persia and shit during that festival day that Apollo said you shouldn't be having wars on and doing no military action on. That shit was cool. Like, Leo cool as hell. I actually like, one thing about the fight that I really like is like the little moment where Apollo uses his threads to create an Oklahoma drill. that shit was funny as hell. Cause them niggas was throwing them bitches like what's his name? Shu and Yusuke was in the Dark Tournament with the knives and shit behind them and Yu Hakusho. Like, I think that shit was cool. I think Apollo's backstory was a bit meh, like a little bit, but I do enjoy them using like the bow and the golden statue. I think that shit was cool. Like I said, I would have liked it to go a little bit crazier, but you know, this isn't Ufotable. I get it. I think this is also like one of those fights that like the human side had to lose for two reasons. One, The tension for this last fight now, the final fight in the tournament, is at an all-time high, because if humanity loses, it's extinction, like it's over. And two, it was a pride versus pride thing, so it makes sense that a mortal body that's fueled off its pride would give out before a divine body that's fueled off its pride, if that makes sense. It makes sense why he lost. Like, I'm not too mad. Even though I like Leo, I'm not too mad that he lost. And I like Leo's shield too, like it fit him, because, you know, 300.
Bang, bang.
You feel me? And I like how the fight ended in the most like prideful manner possible too. It's just two niggas charging at each other in a literal Oklahoma drill. Like, that shit is funny as shit. Like, to be honest, I think all the fights were great. They weren't perfect, but you could tell like that this show is just getting better and better with each season, and I'm here for it. Like, the animation has improved a great amount from season 1, and the storytelling has also gotten significantly better from season 1 as well. I also like them revealing that Odin has an alternate motive this entire time, and he says that he wants to bring back the primordial gods. And I'm not sure who those actually are, but if niggas are going through all this trouble to bring them back, them niggas have to be disgusting. So there's an overarching narrative over the already overarching narrative being the humans versus God conflict that was there from the beginning. And we still have a whole final fight to look forward to as well. And that also makes me super excited because this is one fight. We lined up for one fight here. And it's probably gonna be one of the best ones in the show since they can allocate a lot of resources to it, like for this one fight and shit. It's probably gonna look really good. And I'm also excited to see like how that Odin storyline with Beelzebub and Buddha unfolds in the background. Like, I'm really excited for season 4. Season 3 was really good. But that's all for me, man. As always, man, I hope you niggas have a great day, man. Love y'all, man. Peace.